Welcome to the Catalog Collector. Today we'll be taking a look at some new watches that were released during Watches and Wonders on April 25th, today. I originally wanted to do this about only the Lange watches that were released because a few days ago I got an email and I decided, Lange is going to release their new watches this year and that's going to be interesting. Last year it was very interesting. I'm gonna be talking about all the watches, or at least all that are on this page. So let's get started. From the bottom up. Here we have the Cartier Maillon de Cartier, which is I think it's a new design based on what I read here. And it's an interesting design. I mean, the gold one, the diamonds are, well, I don't know. I mean, it's a jewelry watch and it costs $20,000, so no. I don't know if that's anything new or just a new color. Same thing with these. I mean, they're just regular Cartiers, nothing special to talk about. The Pasha de Cartier skeleton. I do like this Pasha. I like the skeletonized, how they did it with the numerals and everything there. But it does cost $25,000, so again, I don't know. This, I'm not sure if it's anything new. Same thing with the Santos Dumont. All these Cartiers seem to look the same. I mean, this one has a red thing on the crown, while a lot of the others have blue. I quite like this red one, actually. But I just don't know if any of these are anything really special. They're all sort of kind of the same. I mean, there's a lot of Cartiers released, but not all of them are really special. This one, the Pasha de Cartier, 41 millimeters and 35. Why couldn't they do one in 38 or 39? That's the perfect size, not 41 and 35, so too small and too big. But I do like this design. Well, of course I did that. I do like this design. I do like the numerals. I like how the contrast between the square of the indices and the radial pattern of I guess it's the guilloche here. I even like the bracelet, how the lugs are. I do like this one. Same with the asymmetrical tank. I'm not a big fan of the Cartier tank, but I saw this asymmetrical one here actually. And I like the skeleton one a lot. I'm not sure I love the middle lug thing, but again, it's probably a little bit too expensive for my taste. Now, the Cartiers in general, there's a lot of them, like I said. A lot of them are re-releases, from what I can understand. There's a lot of them that a few years ago they had them and now they're re-releasing them, making some more of them, which I don't know about calling them new watches. Next is Montblanc, and this, from what I understand, this one, the 1858 automatic 24-hour, this looks similar to a different one but has a different movement or a different time telling, a different way to display the time. I'm not exactly sure. I do like this watch. I do like how the contrast between the gold and the silver. I usually don't like watches that have both gold and silver, but this one is quite nice. Monopusher chronograph also, I think that's steel and bronze limited edition. Great, a limited edition. I'm not a huge fan of monopusher chronographs, but this is Montblanc, and I probably wouldn't get this for myself, but I like the design. I like the Minerva movement inside. I think it's Minerva movement. I love the Montblanc chronograph with the Minerva movement. I just adore that movement. Here we have a Laurent Ferrier. And well, here's a close-up of that Cartier I was talking about. And here's the asymmetrical tank. Bunch of different colors. Here is the Laurent Ferrier Grand Sport Tourbillon. Now, it is a tourbillon, so it is extremely expensive and out of everyone's budget. If they bring the skeleton, I don't think they have a watch with the, not skeleton, the bracelet. This bracelet is absolutely stunning. I mean, just look at it. It has these very slight details of the facets of the middle links, and the dial with the bracelet, and the case with the bracelet, the crown with the bracelet. It just works. This is a spectacular watch, and I love it. I absolutely adore this watch, and I hope they do one that's not having a tourbillon, because actually I don't really love the Laurent Ferrier tourbillon movement. I love the finishing. This is just spectacular finishing, but the design, I actually prefer the non-tourbillon version of Laurent Ferrier's watches. But it's still a spectacular movement, and this watch with the bracelet is unbelievable. Right next to it is something also unbelievable. Vacheron Constantin La Musique du Temps, Le Cabinotier, The Singing Birds. The Singing Birds. This is in Cartier's Metiers d'Art pieces. And that collection is what I think makes Vacheron Constantin really special. I don't really see these kinds of things from Patek Philippe or Audemars Piguet. These kinds of enameling and this just specialness. A regular Vacheron Constantin watch, in my opinion, isn't all that fantastic and interesting, but this just blows everything else out of the water. It's just special, and I love it. Especially this one. I'm not sure how you tell the time. I love this from Vacheron Constantin. And we'll get to some more things from Vacheron Constantin that are really special. I think that this release, this year, is really a year of Vacheron Constantin. At least this event. We go back to the main page. Thank you, Hodinkee, for this wonderful page. IWC Portugieser Tourbillon Retrograde Chronograph. This is another really nice watch. I love this design. I love the IWC Portugieser. They basically took a grand complication they made and started putting the complications, which all of them were either something special or something new with them. They had a new minute repeater type of thing, and I think they added something special with the perpetual calendar. But this design is pure IWC, and it's beautiful. It's clean, it's simple. This is again what I think Bauhaus should be. Another perpetual calendar tourbillon IWC. This is again Portugieser. They're mixing their complications with this. It's not a grand complication, but they're putting complications they're putting different combinations of their complications into the Portugieser. Panerai Luminor. I like Panerai, but I don't know if that's anything special. I mean, all the Panerais look the same. Again, I clicked that. Well, you can see this is a beautiful dial, a beautiful design. I love Panerai's design, but I don't really see anything new. Vacheron Constantin Traditionnel Tourbillon. Meh. Vacheron Constantin 56 Complete Calendar Watch. That's perhaps interesting. Another thing this year with Vacheron Constantin, they have a lot of brown watches. Quite a lot of these watches have the sepia brown tone dial, matching calfskin dial. Here we have one, here we have another. Forgot if there's a third one. This, let me just go into this real quick. This is a very typical Vacheron Constantin dress watch. There's not much to it. It's that typical design, but when you look a little bit closer, that case is kind of interesting. It's a bit, maybe not different, but it has some quirks to it, some little flares, and I quite like that. I'm not sure if I would have a brown watch, but it kind of works. Another Panerai over there, 44 millimeters. Yacht Club Chronograph IWC, another IWC Portugieser. That bracelet isn't as nice as that Laurent Ferrier. Jaeger LeCoultre Master Control Date. I mean, I don't know if that's anything new. I think they just put a different movement, at least in one of these Jaeger LeCoultres. They put an old movement into a new, again, I click. into a new watch. I'm not sure. It could be a new movement. I like Jaeger LeCoultre. Panerai Luminor, another Panerai that looks exactly the same, but it's slightly different. Another IWC Portugeiser Perpetual Calendar Boutique Edition. Let's see what this is, because I'm not sure. Classic package in a robust gold armor gold case. So this is probably just a gold case. Yeah, a gold case. I don't especially... I mean, this is quite an interesting design of a perpetual calendar. It's kind of cool, but a little bit... You know what? I figured it out. I figured out why I don't like when there's the 4 circles, the 4 subdials on a perpetual calendar watch, or on any watch, really. We'll get to a bigger example of that later, but I don't like it because of the symmetry... no, not because of the symmetry, but because of how big this dial right here is, the lowest dial. I just don't like it, and this is why the Lange perpetual calendar, the perpetual calendar with the Turbograph perpetual, I think that's that, the chronograph with the perpetual calendar, it has a smaller subdial, or maybe it's not smaller, but it's not as conspicuous. You kind of focus on the 2 subdials here, and that's why a chronograph is so beautiful, because you've got just 2 subdials. I think if they made that a little bit smaller, both of these, the top and bottom subdials, a little bit smaller, that could be nicer. Roger Dubois, yeah, we saw that. Roger Dubois, some crazy little watches. This, well, I said little watches. Yeah, they're not that little, but this is a minute repeater. And what I especially like about this minute repeater, I do like that pillar look on the dial, that sort of skeleton-y pillars that sort of, I don't know how to explain it. They kind of go like not a vortex, but a whirlwind. I don't know. They're kind of straight pillars, but they're going around, and I do like that look. Especially here, you can see off-axis. That's quite nice. And it's a minute repeater, so we get to see our minute repeater mechanism, which I do like to be able to see the minute repeater mechanism. I'm not sure if I would have a Roger Dubois watch, but if I was to have one, this is not too bad. I'm not sure I like the bezel though. Let's go back there. This is what we're talking about next. This is the star of all these new watches. In my opinion, the Vacheron Constantin Les Cabinotiers Astronomical Striking Grand Complication Ode to Music. This is absolutely beautiful. It's just beautiful. I mean, see, you don't have a big circle here at the bottom. Instead, you have my favorite complication. Well, my favorite is the minute repeater, but sunrise sunset is a wonderful complication. I love it. I love how they did it. It's just incredible. All these complications. This is a grand complication. It has so many complications, and yet it still looks clean. And on the back, you have that beautiful, beautiful star map. I just love it. And I love how they did it so that you have the whole map of the sky, but then you have this darker, this dark blue. Everything else is sort of transparent, yeah. And then you have the sky map, which appears when the dark blue circle goes over it. I love this sky map. I always love sky maps. I like that they put the month on the back of the watch instead of cramming something more here on the front. I just don't have anything to complain about this watch. Let's see how much it costs. Yeah, let's see. See, this is one of those crazy grand complication pocket watches that this is sort of based on. See, again, 4 of these here. I don't really mind it because it's a pocket watch, but on a wristwatch, let's see how much it costs. I can't find it. Well, let's not take a look at the price. Let's not try to find it because then I'll be discouraged. Panerai Luminor, Hermes, Slim de Hermes, and Hermes has come out with, I saw 2 watches here, and they're both quite interesting, and I do quite like them. They're sort of clean, and they have a real Hermes style to it. I mean, Hermes is a fashion company, essentially. I prefer the other one, which we'll get to later, and which is quite nice. Panerai, this is a slightly different Panerai. Tourbillon, 50 millimeters. Yeah. Vacheron Constantin Traditionnel Tourbillon chronograph. It's a monopusher chronograph. As I said, I don't really like monopusher chronographs. But this, I don't know about it. It's not my cup of tea. Even though it is a nice, classy, dressy watch, I would have something else. Portugieser Yacht Club. Nice colors. Not too bad, but nothing special. Here we have the other Grand Complication from Vacheron Constantin. Where is it? Right here. And on the front, I have nothing to complain about. It's a beautiful dial. Everything is supremely nice. The finishing on this one is just so nice. You have the power reserve over the tourbillon. This is a beautiful watch. Of course, you can see even here that it's very, very thick. I don't like the bezel. I don't like that sort of fluted look to it. I don't know why. I just don't like it. And why did they have to put on it? And of course, the back, instead of seeing the movement, you have a rattrapante chronograph and all kinds of dual time zones and the perpetual calendar. It's probably a perpetual calendar. I don't really like this back, especially with that bezel. I love the front. So if they just got rid of all those complications on the back, I don't really need them, except for maybe the chronograph. Of course, I clicked that, and I clicked that again. Let's get out of here. This is annoying me. That was this, right? Yeah. Then another Panerai. As I said, I like Panerai, but not really anything that they release now. Portugieser Perpetual Calendar 42, a little bit too big, 42 millimeters. Here we get to Lange. Lange. Last year they released many things. This year they released 3 things, and all of them are nothing special. They released a pretty nice, where is it? Right here. A very nice new color scheme for the Zeitwerk minute repeater, and I like that it's a decimal repeater. I love this watch. I love it. It's just a new color. That's all they did to it, and it's a very spectacular color, but it's just a new color. I would expect that from Rolex, not from Lange. To have the crown jewel of the new watches released to be just a new color. But it is, they do release colors faster than Rolex on a faster timetable, which is nice. And here we have the other one. This is what I'm upset about, the Odysseus. The Odysseus is a great design for a watch. It allows many new things to happen in it. The case and the design of everything, the crown guards that can be pushers eventually, and all this. What they did here is they took the nice bracelet. It wasn't a spectacular bracelet, but it was a nice bracelet, and they are now offering this on rubber and leather. 2 things that really don't go together with this. It really doesn't work, at least in my opinion. The gray dial, the new gray dial, it has a sort of different radial guilloche on the dial. Instead of being rings like this, it's going outward, which is nice. Of course, the movement, let me see if I can find the movement. Okay, the movement, of course, the movement. I do like the Odysseus movement. I like that asymmetrical balance wheel bridge. This is a bridge, not a cock, because it's supported on both sides. I like this movement. It really is. This is for Lange. The Odysseus, in my opinion, is something interesting because it isn't. The Odysseus is interesting because it isn't that symmetrical. It allows Lange to have maybe not fun, but a little bit more, not crazy, but just, it allows Lange to be less strict and German. It still is strict and German, but it has a sort of feeling of, what can this be? Well, this mysteriousness about it, this, I guess it is a playfulness about it, having this asymmetrical balance bridge. $40,000. What? Oh, white gold. They released it in white gold too. $40,000. $28,000 for original steel version. That's not a bad deal in my opinion. But let's stop looking at that and continue. Hermes. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Hermes came out with something more interesting than Lange. You have your twisted numerals of Hermes. This is a moon phase, and yeah, I mean, yeah, it's kind of cool. And it's a very clean dial, it's clean and nice, and pretty nice for a fashion company. Pretty nice. Get out of there. Get out of there. Go back to the main page. Vacheron Constantin Overseas. So Vacheron Constantin Overseas, I'm not sure I love that much, to be honest, compared to those beautiful, well, compared to this, I don't like it. I would prefer the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak to the Overseas any day of the week. Really. But there are people who prefer this watch to Audemars Piguet and Patek Philippe's Nautilus, so I guess it has its place. Baume Mercier. Let's see what we have here. Some more complicated pieces. So I guess this is, the price. They say the price is interesting. Yes, I like Baume Mercier. That's my dad's best watch, the best watch in this house, basically. It's quartz, but this is quite interesting. That's, and it disappointed me with the movement shot. But let's see how much it costs. 42 millimeters, 3,800 Swiss francs, so that's about 3,800 US dollars. It's not a bad price for something. 5-day power reserve, and, well, I guess it says 5 days, so it's probably 5 days. That's quite nice, honestly. That's a nice price for a nice watch. Another Baume Mercier. Let's see what they have. Hampton Automatic. So this is more in tune to what my dad has. I like this Baume Mercier, but I don't know. Something about it, it's nice, but there are other watches from other companies that are in this sort of long format that are maybe a bit better. Now this round one, that's quite cool. Let me get a closer look at it. This is quite nice. I like that moon phase. That's a pretty nice way of making a moon phase. That's something pretty nice. Let's see how much it costs. Let me see. About $4,000 in steel. And I'd probably get this in steel, actually, rather than gold, even if I could afford the gold. This, I like the flat crown. I like the case. The case is pretty nice. It's sort of sleek. The sleekness I like, without being too much or too flat or anything like that. Why is this moving? Okay. I like this watch. It has a nice design. And the Piaget Altiplano, the thinnest watch in the world, is becoming a production watch. I do like that design. The color scheme of this is quite cool. Now the question is this. Why would you want to wear the thinnest watch in the world? Why? I don't see a point to it, other than to be able to say you have the thinnest watch in the world. more important for Piaget to be able to say that they make the thinnest watch in the world. I don't know if this will be a good selling watch, but it's nice for Piaget to offer it. I don't mind it that much. It's a very interesting watch. Anyway, Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Control Chronograph Calendar, another watch from them. But what we're here going to look at now is, get rid of that, the Spake Marine 1 and 2 Open Work Flying Tourbillon. I like this watch. I really like it. Let me show you. I like it when companies when they do an open skeleton watch where they show it says open work, when they show the mainspring barrel and they do something with it, they engrave it. I do like that. This, honestly, up close, that's a little bit of a boring engraving. Let's see how much it costs. Ooh, has left the company. 38 millimeters, so that's a perfect size. And it's a tourbillon, so it's going to be expensive. $66,000. Not too bad, honestly, for a tourbillon. I do like Spake Marine's logo being in the tourbillon, but other than that, I do like the hands, and I guess this is a nice alternative for some other watches, which I will not talk about. Anyway, that's all that we have right now. Let's see if there's anything new. If I reload the page, oh, look, a new watch popped up. Vacheron Constantin Overseas. See, I don't really like that Overseas bezel. I love the bracelet. I adore the bracelet, but I just don't like that bezel. But again, not a watch for me, but other people like it, and I don't mind the watch. I like what they're doing with it. But that's about it. Watches and Wonders 2020. I'm sure there'll be new watches released, and I may make another video about them. Again, I clicked. Of course I did. May make another video about these, but for now, that's it. Let's leave you off with a view of the Laurent Ferrier. And that's all I have for you today. If you liked the video, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, share the video, and tune in next time with the Catalog Collector.